Human beings, welcome to the internet, and you have stumbled upon a sloth who is going to talk about some sweet manga. I got a stack of manga here. It's all good. It's all worth a read. I'm gonna give you all some idea behind them, a little more than I normally do in halls and everywhere else, because I want you to know what they're about. I want you to be excited, and I want you to get ready to read something new while showing you an up close of what they look like, so you get an idea of what's going on inside them and how it looks on the outside. So let's just jump straight into it with the number one here, and that is Yoshi no Zukara, and that is me saying this for like the third time in my life out loud, so I may be butchering that. This is a 3-volume series complete. That is right, it's complete at 3 volumes. This manga is a fictional tale of a mangaka, Tono Narahiko, who after having his last series being cancelled, has his editor insist he draw slice of life manga rather than the typical fantasy genre that he enjoys. So they proceed to draw inspiration from the small island they reside on with the help of his assistant and a young girl who's a fan of his work. There's a lot of humor in the story. My wife felt an affinity with the main character being an introvert herself. There's a scene where the main character is traveling to a major city for the first time, which you can completely understand the potential for anxiety and trying to make sure you had everything perfectly planned. So like I said, there's only 3 volumes that make up this series. If you're a fan of Bakuman or Blank Canvas, this is probably another great short series to add to your collection. Then, next up, we have Children of the Whales. This is volume 1. Now, I have just started this series this year, 2022, and I believe I'm like 8 or 9 volumes deep in this at the moment, and it is great. So, Children of the Whales, it centers around a ship that is made out of sand and that's floating in a desert, is what it looks like. But you grow to know that the whole world is like that in a way. And you're following this main character who's an archivist for the mud whale, which is what they call this ship that they're on. This ship just floats aimlessly. There's no control over it. It just goes where it wants, does what it wants. And the people have been on this mud whale, this island, this floating island, for almost 100 years now. So there's been generations of them. And the main character, Chakuro, if I'm saying his name right, he is an archivist. Like I said, he chronicles the lives and deaths of all the people on the island. And on this island there are some people that have almost a magical ability. It's like a power called Thaima. They all live shorter lives than normal people without that ability. So one day there's a scouting party that leaves the mud whale to go to this other island that they see, and they find a girl there. And it's the first time anyone has ever seen another human being off this floating island. So this series has so much deep mystery and things you just want to know about the world and about the people and why things are happening. There's so many questions, and the story and the art feels fresh, solid, like it's going to be an extremely enjoyable series. And the ending of volume 1, without spoiling anything, is crazy. Kind of took me back a little bit. I definitely recommend picking it up, if not for the covers alone. Next up, we got Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost. This is a series from Kodansha. I believe at the time of filming this is 4 volumes out of this. So Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost, it's actually from the author of Godchild and Angel Sanctuary. This is a gothic retelling of the classic story of Beauty and the Beast. The heroine, Belle, after having lived in an abusive household under her father, she escapes to confront the beast who stole her mother away when she was a child. However, she eventually meets the real beast and becomes part of his court within his magical flying castle. So like I said, it's 4 volumes. at the moment, and it's still an ongoing series, though the way it appears is that it may end soon, so it could be a 6-volume series, 7, 8, not sure, but it feels like it's already leading up to an end. The story has a very unique perspective on classic elements of the fairy tale. The servants of the Beast household are very unique. The Beast has a wonderful devil-may-care attitude, which is rather delightful and refreshing compared to the classic that we're accustomed to. On it continuing, it does appear that the author had some real-life health issues that came up during the serialization of this. If you need more convincing to try out this series, if you're a fan of Ancient Magus Bride or Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts, you will most likely enjoy this series also. Human beings, we're pausing for a second. Time out. If you enjoy my content, even a little, hit that subscribe button. It means so much to me. And come talk to me in the comments or on my Discord. I always love hearing from you. Back to the manga. So here we got Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji. So this volume 1 in my hand, I did not even purchase. This came from HVL Manga, another manga tuber. If you want to go back and watch, we did a collab. We got each other manga and stuff, and she sent this volume for me to read. It sat around for months and months and months and months and months, and then I finally decided to jump into it, and now I have the 3 volumes that are out and I am up to date on it. So let me tell you about Gambling Apocalypse Kaiji. So Kaiji is the name of the main character you'll see here. He is kind of a lowlife, you might say, of sorts, where he does petty crime and things like that, and he has a lot of debt because he gambles and such. He has a lot of debt and a lot of resentment that's just building up. And one day he gets a visit from the Yakuza, and he's coerced into doing just that, more gambling, but this time with his life. And it starts small and just keeps getting more and more bizarre, different kinds of games to get out of debt, and you find out why him and all these others are in the places that they're in, given this chance to not only get out of debt, but also to make tons of money. And they're giving them a chance to put the future in their hands. This is a manga, I would say, that isn't for everyone. The art style is an older, a little more cartoonish art style. It was started in the 90s, so it is older. These are newer editions that are being printed. The manga requires some patience. It goes extremely in depth in these situations. That can be a turnoff for some people because it is a little difficult to follow if you're trying to go fast, but it is definitely worth it because it is mind games, and it is brutal in many ways, playing with real people's lives when death is a lot of times on the line. I think it's a great read. It's definitely different, and I think a lot of people may find enjoyment out of this manga. Then we have Kage Hikaru. This manga, I feel, needs to be talked about more. Here's my chance of giving it some time in the sun and some praise. This is a extremely popular series in Japan. Now, it is ongoing in America, although it is complete in Japan. I'm not sure how many volumes. It's in the 40s. I think at the time of filming this, number 30 is coming out this year in America. So it is a little bit longer series, but it is definitely worth it. Kage Hikaru is a unique spin of a female heroine, Sei, that pretends to be a man in order to join the Wolves of Maibu, better known as the Shinsengumi. Doing that to get revenge on those responsible for the deaths of her father and brother. And she looks up to her sensei, Okita Sodri. The series details actual historical events that occurred in Japan, such as the great opening of Japan to the Western trade, by Commodore Perry. Now, if you're not familiar with Commodore Perry, look him up. He is an American hero from the War of 1812, and he also, like I said, was very important to opening Japan to Western trade, and he's referenced and seen in this manga because it is extremely historical and in that way very awesome. So, if you're a fan of Rurouni Kenshin, this story takes place during the same time period that Kenshin was Batosai the Manslayer, which is very cool in my opinion. And it is extremely clear that the author focused highly on accurately reporting historical events concerning figures of the age, primarily the members of the Shinsengumi. The story's pacing starts off a little slow because from what I know, it was going to end in a handful of volumes. But thank goodness it didn't, because it got extremely popular and for good reason. My wife was very excited reading this, and she got more and more enthralled with learning about the culture and that time period in Japan, and a lot of people will feel the same way and get that enthusiasm out of it. Manga is listed as a shoujo drama, but the romance is more focused in the story from an emotional aspect more than a physical, which she found more enjoyable, and a lot of people would, because it's the slow burn when it comes to romances that have the great payoffs. As you can see on the covers that I've been showing, the manga shows a lovely, beautiful theme of the 4 seasons depicted. On every single cover, you get a new season, and on every single cover, you get the 2 main characters, which I think is special. Let me know down below what you thought of these manga. Are you going to try any out? Do you have different opinions than me? Let me know. Also, let me know if there's any manga you want me to review or go over in any of these reading logs that you see or you ever see in my manga hauls. Remember to subscribe and follow me on socials if you enjoy this. I show multiple different things manga-wise, different platforms, so definitely come check me out. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next time.